All right, what's going on, guys? Robby here once again, and I am super. We have another success story coming out of Commission Hero. They're happening more and more and more, which just goes to show that it works. And so I'm excited because today we have Rodrigo, and so it's super cool. I'm really excited about this interview because Rodrigo is actually good friends with my girlfriend. So my girlfriend and his wife are like, very, very good friends. And so, I know that he was interested in Commission Hero for a while, and then he jumped in, and guys, he just had his first $1,000 day. He's continuing to have success, and he got the hat, the coveted hat, as you can see, that he's wearing it right now. So Rodrigo, man, thank you so much for doing this interview, man. How you doing?
Good man, how you doing? Thanks for
Hey,
the
dude.
chat.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, thanks for putting in the work and making it happen, dude. That's super, super cool. So, dude, I got to ask you first off, like, how does it feel making $1,000 in a day?
Wow, man, it feels amazing, man. It's like the best feeling in the world, you know. It almost feels like when you get your first 100 on a quiz or a test in high school or
Yeah,
college.
yeah.
It's that,
I
it's
never,
that.
I don't know what that feels like, Rodrigo. I never got that. I was a B student. I got B's, man. Dude,
No,
that's
man,
awesome. That's
it,
awesome.
it's that same feeling. It's not only the money, you know. I mean, the money is important, but
Yeah,
it's the achievement, you know. It's the achievement feeling. It's much better.
yeah.
It's much more rewarding, you know.
I love it. I love it, man. That's super cool. And I say this to everybody too, but when you hit that first $1,000 day and like you look in your ClickBank account, it almost doesn't feel real, right? It's almost like it's kind of like a weird feeling. It's almost like I call it like an out of body experience where you're like, what? Like that's my ClickBank account? Like, did you feel the
Yeah.
same way? Yeah.
Same thing, man. I've been in commercial here for a long time, you know. So I knew it was coming, you know. It was just
Yeah.
gonna be a matter of time.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm now one of those success stories that people join in and they have success on in the game.
Yeah.
It took me a whole year to click, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but definitely, the harder you work, the stronger you become, you know. So seeing all everybody getting their success day, you know, I've seen. I was probably your student number 163, I believe, when I
Oh,
joined.
really?
Yeah. So I
Wow.
was, it was like the first 2 months, I think, that
Yep.
you launched your program.
Yep.
So I've seen like the first success in the group, you know. I've
Yeah.
seen like Carly hitting success, promoting Cinderella, and Liza, making $1,000 days, like promoting the DIY niche.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, man. It's a feeling that I can't explain.
That's awesome, dude. I love it, man. So yeah, so obviously you've been in commission here for a while. So, kind of tell everybody that's watching here, how did you come across Commission Hero? How
Man,
did you
it's
find?
funny. It's funny the way you showed up in my. I was about to take Carol on a trip, right?
Yeah.
And I think we were at the airport, right? And I think she like did a I don't know, something on Facebook that you kind of knew that she was there, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh hey, I think she did a check-in or something,
Yeah.
and you're like, hey Carol, I'm here too. I just flew from I think you were coming from California.
Yeah.
I even got the phone and I wrote it back. I'll say, hey, good luck with the traffic, because the
Yeah.
traffic was horrible. So that day you showed up as a friend request for me.
Uh-huh.
So I sent you a friend request and we became friends. And from that day on, I kind of was seeing a bunch of like, Commission Hero, your commercial that you were doing.
Hmm.
And I remember I wanted to watch a webinar while I was on vacation, but
Yes, I heard that. Yeah. That's
but I
awesome.
kept, yeah, man, but I kept saying to myself, no, I'm gonna wait till I get home, Carol is probably gonna get mad, me staying on the phone for an hour on vacation.
Yep.
So that's what I did, man. As soon as I got home, I joined your program. I got home and I watched your webinar, right?
Yeah.
And I decided to join, and I talked to a good friend of mine, Lucas, which he's my partner today, and he's
Yep.
like, man, let's do it. I just joined it yesterday and I'm loving it, So, I mean, that was just like another push for me to,
Yep.
and I just joined Commission here on the next day, and I started like doing, all the content and watch all the videos, and
I love
so
it.
that's basically how Commission here came across me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, did you ever do anything like, did you ever have any other online businesses before or do any other courses or anything?
No, man, no. This is I never even had a Facebook account, right? I was one of those guys that, not a big fan of like social media and,
Yep.
so I had no background whatsoever. I didn't know even how to like share a comment on Facebook. I didn't even know how to use the platform itself.
Yeah. Oh wow, no kidding. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's awesome. And then so obviously you jumped in. So what were some of like the obviously it took you, you took your time, you've put in the work for sure, and so you just had your breakthrough. So what do you think was like, the big, kind of like aha moment or like the light bulb going off in your head that allowed you to like to finally get to that $1,000 a day?
Man, well, I think I would say my haha moment was uh, right when I got laid off, right, 6 weeks ago, because
Yeah.
of this whole situation.
Hmm.
And that's when I told myself, hey, it's now or never,
Yep.
right? Because now I have no excuse.
Hmm.
Before I had a 9 to 5 job, which is more like a 5 to 5, because
Yeah.
I get up at 5 and I get back home at like 5, sometimes even later.
Hmm.
So now I had no excuse, right? I said, hey, it's now or never. So I started to put in like the time that it needed to be put in order to have success.
Yeah. That's
So I
awesome.
kind of, went back and I kind of watched all my, inner circle calls, watch all the
Hmm.
videos with Jeremy and Victoria.
Yep.
And, and that's when my big haha moment came, when I really put in the work, when I really started doing, what I was supposed to be doing since day one, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah, dude, I love that. I think it's, I know it sounds crazy, but almost sometimes it takes, like a moment like that where you get laid off or you have like a, dude, it's just like it clicks. You're like, wow, like I have to make this work now. I have no choice. And so I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. And the fact that like,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
That and I would say another breakthrough was also learning how to deal with my account shutdowns.
Hmm.
Like I think the sooner you learn how to deal with like accounts shut down, the sooner
Yeah.
you will find success. If you
Yeah.
like develop like the right mindset of dealing with account shutdown and being positive about it, and like learning from it instead
Mhm.
of complaining, and
Yep.
it's like Andrew says, man, more problems are good.
Yep, exactly. More problems are good, man. That's right. And so, and you had a lot of stuff. 'Cause I remember even there was one instance too. Like, didn't someone like spend like $15,000 on your account or something like that, or try
Hey,
to?
so I was promoting Lepti Talks,
Yep.
and this is about 6 months ago. It was right when Lepti Talks started to kick in.
Hmm.
Daz was having $1,000 days with like a 30% CTR,
Yeah.
and so that period, I was getting close to my $1,000 day.
Yep.
I was having like $800 days, $950 day on a $300 budget,
Hmm.
and I got hacked.
Yep.
I got hacked. A guy went and used one of my traffic campaigns to run a advertise for one of his truck that was a scam.
Yeah.
And after that, man, everything just went downhill. I
Yep.
had to call my card because there was a budget of I think $3,000 a day,
Yep.
and I noticed right away. My budget was already spent like 2,500. Because he hacked right at the end of the day, so it was my budget was going like crazy.
Yep.
And so I had to call my card and cancel all my card. And after that, I got my account restricted,
Hmm.
account shut down, and I lost my BM, I lost my profile.
Yep.
Um, at the time, I wasn't housing my Pixel in a safe house,
Hmm.
so I lost my Pixel with like 200 cells on it, and
Yeah, man. Like everything happened to you. Like and that's the thing. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up too, Rodrigo, is because like I think that's important for people to realize is that like, sometimes, yes, we have students that, have success right away, right? Of course we do,
yeah,
right? But there also are times where like, hey, you're gonna go through ups and downs, right? You're gonna have bumps in the road. You're gonna have like random stuff. Like obviously that doesn't happen to everybody, of course, but even though all those things happened, like it didn't slow you down, it didn't stop you from success, and now you're in a position where you're very glad you stuck with it, right? So
exactly. It
yeah,
just made me stronger.
yeah, exactly. It makes you stronger, that's for sure. And then the other thing too is like when you go through all that stuff, you're like, okay, like there's literally nothing else that can happen to me, so I'm just going to have success now, right? Like nothing's going to stop me, right? I think, you know, it's like I've been through that too. Like I've been through that, and it's important to just push forward. You know, the worst thing you can do is stop, you know? So yeah, dude. So as far, I love your mindset. So obviously you've put in the work. So what would you say were some of like your big kind of like mindset things? Like, because I know obviously we have a lot of people in Commission Hero. We have a lot of people that are having success. We have some people that are just getting started out. So, you know, what would be your advice for somebody that's, you know, just kind of starting out and you know, hasn't had their success yet? And like, what would you give them for advice?
Oh man, definitely just ask questions in the group, you know. Use the group, you know. I mean, we have over I think 5,300 students, you know, and they all sharing info. You know, I mean, the information is there, just use it, you know. And also just learn how to deal with your account shutdowns. You know, I think that's one of the most important things to do. You know, if you have a mindset of always not getting mad, or not, you know, instead of like going, you know, write like a comment saying, oh, I lost my account, just go and try to work it out and see, you know, what caused it, and trying to like study the issue, you know. And I think that would be my advice, you know. Just know how to deal with the account shutdown, just keep pushing, you know. Success is going to be around the corner, man.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You're right. Absolutely. I think that's important, because that's something I tell people too. Like you get what you focus on, right? So if you're focused on, you know, the things that are going to happen or why you're not going to be successful, guess what? You're not going to be successful. If you focus on, you know, reasons why you can be successful, or model people that are having success, you have success. It's literally that simple.
Yeah, if you think about it, I mean, everything we need to have success is in your course, you know. So basically all you need to work on your mindset to just keep pushing when things go wrong, you know, and keep trying and never give up, you know.
Absolutely. So that's so true, man. I really, really believe that. It's, you know, that's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, like, you know, so obviously so you hit your first $1,000 day. So what's kind of been your progress since hitting that $1,000 day?
All right. So I hit my $1,000 day on Thursday. Then Friday we went to a $1,700 day without even scaling anything.
Wow.
And then Saturday I woke up with an account shut down, right?
Yeah.
So
actually, let's show your screen actually, Rodrigo, while we're at it here. Might as well just at the same time here, we can show your screen.
Yeah, let me see what I do here.
Yeah, let's see.
Should I hit desktop one?
Yep, choose whatever screen you want to share. Yep, yeah, the one that has a ClickBank account on it. Yep, it should share for you. Is it working?
It says open system preference to let Zoom, so I gotta let you in my private.
Okay. Okay. Well, while you're doing that, yeah, I think that's so work on that, Rodrigo. But yeah, so everyone that's watching, like, it's really important to remember, guys. So Rodrigo, like, he started almost a year ago. Like, literally, what number were you, Rodrigo? 160 what?
63.
163. So he was the 163rd person in the Commission Hero group, and now we have over 5,300 people, which is amazing and growing every day, because, you know, people are seeing the success. People like Rodrigo, and they want to have that success, and you can. But the key is, guys, you got to continue to keep on putting the work into it. So, you know, I think that, you know, Rodrigo would agree that, you know, even though it took him, you know, a year to get to where he is, like, and honestly, I you know, yes, it was a year for you, but I think really your starting point was like 6 weeks ago, right? Like when
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
I would say my starting point was, I would say my starting point was about 6 weeks ago when I got laid off.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I can see your screen. Yeah. And that's important, because I think a lot of people do that. Like, a lot of people will, you know, they'll kind of dabble. They'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to try it a little bit. I'm going to give it a shot, and you have a little bit of success, and then things happen. You kind of go, you know, you kind of stop. Like, when you get to the point where it's like make or break, like, you have to do this, guess what? Like, wow, things happen. It's, you know, it's kind of like, I tell people, it's almost like a, you know, gun to the head mentality. Like, if you had a gun to your head, like, and someone told you to do something, you're probably going to do it. You're probably going to, because you have to, you know, exactly. and that's what you did right there, man. That's why you're having success, dude. So good for you. That's awesome. So yeah, here's your account right now. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So you had a $7,000 week. So not a bad week. Wow. And so Rodrigo, how much of that $7,000 you made that in revenue that week? How much was profit?
5,800.
$5,800. That's
Yeah, man.
insane. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. My ROI is like
That's
crazy.
insane.
My $1,000 day, my ROI was like at $400. You know, I mean
Yeah.
400%. I meant. So I was making
Wow.
like four times what I was spending. You know, and
Wow.
I didn't scale it. And next day we hit like $1,700. That day I think we had like 1,400 profit or even more.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that's awesome because that's a question I get asked all the time because people are like, well, Robbie, like I see what people are making in revenue, but how much is profit? And so of that $7,100, guys, in revenue, $5,800 was profit. And so, like you said, you had a 400% ROI day. Those days, like basically, guys, what that means is he's putting in $1 and he's getting $4 back. I mean, that's
Man.
you want to do that all day long.
I follow Dad's recommendation on most of his videos, and he always says to start slow, small,
Yeah.
and that's what I did, man. I started very slow, and I'm trying to be very careful because if you notice here, Friday after the $1,700 day, you see that the number dropped a little bit.
Yep.
So basically, what happened was I lost one of my good ads, and so that's why I had this drop here. Yep. But I didn't want to peel it on the weekend because I had I had two other campaign going that was doing really well, and it was in the same BM. So I was afraid to appeal it and have someone look at it and maybe it was in the same profile. Actually, it was a different BM, but in the same profile.
Yep.
So I was afraid of having like a manual review and somebody, I didn't know what was wrong with it at the time, So I waited for the weekend to go by. Still managed to make $800 on like $170 budget.
Wow.
And then I got the account back on Monday night.
That's awesome.
That's when I got back to the 13 and the $1,000 days again.
Awesome. Yeah, that's smart. I love what you said there too, because as like, and people that are listening, like you can never be reactive with Facebook. So you have to be like, if something happens or they disapprove an ad, the only thing you need to do is just step away for a few days and then appeal. Yeah. And that's what, and you listen, that's great. So yeah. And then the other thing that people always kind of think too is like, oh, if my account gets shut down, like I'm never going to get it back. Like you get it back.
No, right? Don't ever think like that. Yeah. Usually what happens is if you move on, right? If you have the right mindset to just move on and start working on other BM and just appeal it, by the time things are doing good on the other BMs, you already got your account back, and that's exactly what happened here. I had initially I had an account shutdown, right? So I didn't care. I moved on, and I knew what I had was doing good, so I just copied the same thing from that account shutdown to my other account, right?
Yep.
And started working on my other BM the same way. I changed up a little bit the creatives, right? And then when I got my account back, all I did was turn on the campaign again and redo the ads again with the same creatives that was working, and boom, and that's how I hit the $1,000 day. Maybe if it wasn't for the account shutdown and me moving on and working on other things instead of I wouldn't gotten there.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, it's a great lesson there for everyone that's watching too. So that's awesome, man. So yeah, I'll stop your sharing here. Let's see. All right, cool. Yeah. So Rodrigo, what would you say to, obviously kind of wrapping up here. So what would you say to somebody that, is in Commission Hero already? They haven't had their success yet, or they're looking to have success. Like, what would be your best advice for them?
Just do it. And as soon as you do it, put in the work, don't wait. I mean, you have everything in Commission Hero, you just got to put in the work and watch all the videos, go through all the content in the course, and just put in the work. It's just a matter of putting in the work and focusing on, knowing how to deal with the account shutdown, and you're going to get there. It's just a matter of time, as proof, we have every week 2 or 3 people posting their success, So I mean, we know it works, and it's just you just gotta go through the the phases, and
Yep.
you know, and success is going to be down the road, man.
100%, 100%. Now, let me ask you this question: for someone that is watching this video, and we have a ton of people that watch these videos, and but they're not in Commission Hero yet, and they've been thinking about Commission Hero, and they've been, you know, for months or weeks, and they just haven't jumped in yet, and they made all these excuses. Like, what would be your advice to somebody that hasn't joined Commission Hero yet, that's been thinking about it?
Just join it. You know, follow. Just put in the work. Just do it. You know, buy the course. It's definitely worth the investment. You know, it's if you put in the work, it doesn't take time to get to where you want to be. You know, and just do it. Just buy it. Put in the work. Follow the steps in the course. You know, and just don't give up. Don't give up when you get an account shut down. Just, you know, there's a saying that it goes like, when you just take a break, you know, maybe you just take a break, you rest, and you get back at it again, you know, and it's a matter of time. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I
you know,
love
you're
it.
going to have $1,000 day, or even better days, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely, man. It's so cool to see your success, because it's, you know, obviously we were hanging out yesterday at my girlfriend's birthday there, and it's so cool to see you have success, man, because yeah, and get the hat and everything, and, that's awesome, dude. Because and I love your journey, because, you know, like I said, it was a year ago that you joined, 163 or the number, and then, you know, you dabbled in it for a while, you put a little bit of work into it, then you said, all right, took it serious, and look at that. When you take things serious and you treat it like I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it, no in between, you have success, right? So, dude, Rodrigo, man, really appreciate you doing this interview. I know that everybody's going to be inspired by this this video.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you again, Robby.
Awesome, of course, man, my pleasure. Awesome. So guys, if you're watching this video and you are in Commission Hero, awesome. Like, another reason why you need to keep pushing forward to have success. Now, if you're not in Commission Hero yet, guys, then what are you waiting for? Now is the perfect time to jump in. You know, guys like Rodrigo, and we have so many students that are having success, even with everything that's going on in the world right now. So guys, there'll be a link somewhere on this page where you can jump into Commission Hero. That's it for me, Rodrigo. Thanks again, man. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.